It is a big fight feel in New York City this weekend. UFC 322, Islam Makhachev and Zhang Weili are both trying to go up a weight class and win their second championships in the UFC. So there will be history made one way or another on Saturday, UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden. Hello, everybody. Brett Okamoto alongside Ian Parker, and we are pretty excited to be doing this not only in person, but in the beautiful studios here in New York. A lot more fancy than what we're used to here on UFC Best Bets.
Just a tad bit. The backdrop's a little bit nicer than what I have at home, what you got. But hey, Big Apple, big show. Let's go.
Well, we are still going to do what we do every week, and that is go through every fight, all of Ian's best plays for UFC 322. But before we do, look back at Bonfim versus Brown. How did we do at the Apex facility in Las Vegas?
I wish we didn't have to, but in the spirit of transparency, nothing like getting torched before a nice pay-per-view, the Big Apple. I got smoked. The only one that I hit was Daniel Marcos. Everything else lost. Ricky Simone fell short. Brown fell short. Everything fell short. Only way we can go is up. I try not to laugh, but hey, you got to take the wins with the losses. That was a bad one. Let's get it back this week.
Hey, we'll get a little bit more green here in New York City, and we will start with the main event. Islam Makhachev taking on Della Maddalena. Makhachev is a big-time favorite despite going up in weight. Looks like he's put on the weight well. We've gotten to see some looks at him here in New York, but Della Maddalena is very, very good. I am a little surprised that the odds are this long. What about you, Ian?
Yeah, I didn't think that Islam should be a 3-1. I was expecting 2-1 because of the jump up, right? I was expecting it to be that way. You know, JDM, listen, we know what he is. He is a sniper type of striker. He's got good takedown defense. However, I'm a little confused by him because against Gilbert Burns, he was taken down at will. And if he didn't get that knee, he loses. Against Bilal didn't even shoot a takedown until round 3. And then those last 2 rounds, Bilal hung with him and made that fight very close. I'm really confused here because you're going against someone in Islam who didn't have to cut weight. He looks fantastic. The size is not that much different. And when you're talking about someone, Islam Makhachev, I believe all he needs to do is land 1 takedown per round to win this fight. Because once he takes you down, you don't get back up. And I think his striking is pretty underrated. I think he can hang with Jack. He can take Jack down. For me, it's Islam, and over 1.5 rounds is my bet.
Interesting. Well, I was going to ask about the over, because obviously if you want to take Islam, those are pretty long odds. One thing in additional, Della Maddalena has been pretty clear, and we'll see, you know, these pre-fight comments, you never really know. But he said that he believes the key is going to be moving around a lot. Constant movement. If he's being honest about that, seems like you like the over. It makes you like the over a little bit more.
Well, the over is really over 3.5 rounds. I'm just taking an alternate round to get that number down on Islam. Listen, he can move around all he wants. But guys, Islam could be, this team, they train with bears. Bears move. So if that bear is going to move, I'm not worried about Jack. And Islam has fought smaller guys faster that have a lot of movement as well. So for Jack, let's be honest here, fight has to stay on the feet. If he gets taken down, he has to get back up quick. He's got to fight at range. The one thing Jack is great at is volume here, but if he can't get back up, that volume doesn't matter. So for me, Islam over 1.5, we get it to -147. I love that number.
Oh, I'm still nervous. I'm even still nervous at -147. I think Jack Della Maddalena getting a little bit overlooked here as far as the odds go, but Islam Makhachev is usually a pretty safe bet when you're going with him and Team Habib. Let's move to the co-main. It's Zhang Weili taking on Valentina Shevchenko. Very, very interesting. I mean, obviously from a history standpoint, these are 2 of the greatest female fighters we've ever seen. Kind of similar to what we were talking about in the main event. This Zhang going up in weight. Valentina actually the favorite here. And which side are you going?
Give me the underdog in Zhang Weili, and I kind of heard it in your voice. You sounded a little surprised that she'd be the favorite. I think she has to be just because of how long she's been, the legacy she's done it. But I got to be honest, I haven't been overly impressed with Valentina her last couple of fights. Her taking down Alexa Grasso is not the same as going after Zhang Weili in wrestling. Hey, her and her other fight, I mean, it's just the kickboxing there. We know this. But I think that Zhang Weili not only is the better athlete, the better wrestler, but she's catching Valentina probably not at the peak of her career. So for me, at plus money, I like Zhang Weili. I think she matches her in the power. I think the striking's there. And if you could out-wrestle Tatiana Suarez for 5 rounds, you can certainly out-wrestle Valentina Shevchenko at plus money. Give me Zhang Weili. I love this play, and I'm a big believer in her.
Okay, so you love this play, and I mean, you're getting plus 115 already. Do you think about method at all? or do you just stay happy with that you're getting Zhang Weili at plus money?
Oh, listen, it's betting. We're in the Big Apple. Let's get greedy. Give me Zhang Weili. Let her win. Decision at plus 215 is fantastic. And look, if she somehow gets on top of her and finishes her, great. But Valentina, look, she was subbed by Alexa Grasso, so we know the rear naked choke is there. However, easier said than done. I think Zhang Weili, the other thing about her is that when she's on top of you, she doesn't make mistakes. If the submission's there, she'll go for it, but she doesn't give up position. And I believe you me, if she's on top dominating, she's not moving to make that mistake. She'll just get damage done enough to score rounds. You could take the decision at plus 215, but the plus money on Zhang Weili, I love that number.
Well, it's kind of a cool card the way it's constructed.
Yeah.
With two situations where you got a former champion moving up in weight, taking on a very, very good champion in those respective weight classes. But we want to get to the rest of this UFC 322 main card. And the way we want to look at it is through Ian Parker's best bets. We're going to start with his premium play. This is his most confident pick for Saturday, and it happens in the welterweight division with Leon Edwards and Carlos Prates.
Give me Carlos Prates here. Look, for Leon Edwards, he is a fighter that is notoriously starts slow. In a 3-round fight, you can't do that. He looked terrible in his last fight against Sean Brady, and Carlos Prates looked fantastic. Prates goes off the front foot. Pressure. Leon Edwards does not do well there. Leon Edwards is not going to get him down. Give me Prates to win at minus 175.
All right, and then moving right along, another very, very fun important fight for the weight class. Sean Brady taking on Michael Morales. And you've got 3 units here on another underdog play.
Listen, I'm a big Sean Brady fan. I thought what he did to Leon Edwards was impressive. However, that was striker grappler, and Leon just looked terrible. Morales is a beast. This is an athlete that you don't usually see at this weight class, the size. Great takedown defense. If this fight stays on the feet, Sean Brady's going to the shadow realm because Morales can do it. I believe it's his coming out party. Plus 120. Give me the young blue chip prospect. I'm all in.
Yeah, and that's a pretty confident bet there for plus 120 odds. You get 5 units on the premium play, 3 units on that one. Let's move to another fight. I knew we would have action on this because I feel like anytime I see the names Roman Kopylov and Gregory Rodriguez, we have had one player or another. You seem to have a good read on these guys. And in this one, you were going with the favorite, Gregory Rodriguez.
Okay, so I will be very transparent here. I don't love that number at minus 180 because sometimes he gets a little careless. However, on the feet, he's got crazy power. He does have a very good ground game. If he can get Roman down, he's got the black belt in jiu-jitsu to do it. I think Roman's a good striker, but we've seen that pressure. He doesn't like getting hit against Paulo Costa. He looked like a deer in the headlights. I think RoboCop could do the same thing. I wouldn't go any higher than that, but I think RoboCop gets the win here over Roman Kopylov.
Okay, so now we've got 10 units on the board, and the next one we go to is in the lightweight division. What do you got in this matchup?
Give me Camilo over Slavaclaus here. I think he's got more ways to win. I think that Borishev is a good striker, but his wrestling game is just not there. Off his back, he offers nothing. Camilo is a young, fun fighter. Power on the feet, great on the ground. Should take him down and get it done. I'm going to do that for 1 unit.
Okay, so 4 best bets there. 5 units, 3 units, 2 units, 1 unit.
Hey, it's your money. Why not,
mixing
right?
up everything here. And we got one more play, but it comes in the form of a prop of the night. What do you got here with Angela Hill and Fatima Klein?
All right, Angela Hill, you know I love you, and you have done a lot of things for us as an underdog, and you're a split decision queen. However, Fatima Klein's the real deal. She gets it done by decision here. She's got her in the striking. She's certainly got the wrestling and ground game to do it. Angela Hill is a name to win, get on the resume to get to that next step. That's that litmus test here. I think Fatima Klein passes with flying colors by decision, minus 185.
Yes, sir. And there you go. You got Parker's best bets. You got the main and the co-main broken down for you. We got a few more orders of business. It starts with the long shot parlay. Where are we going for UFC 322?
Oh, we got some long shots. This one's a little out of control, but I kind of love it. Chepe Marisol against Pat Sabatini. Chepe is a dog. Plus 330 win by decision. Tracy Cortez versus Erin Blanchfield. A rematch. First time around, Tracy won. I think she's the better striker. If she keeps the fight on the feet, I think she could win this. Plus 275 decision. Beneil Dariush, plus 450 to win by decision. I'll be honest, I don't love the weight miss. However, he didn't try to cut any more weight, so maybe that's going to help him against Benoit Saint-Denis. That's an absolutely insane long shot parlay.
And you heard him earlier. We're in the Big Apple. We're looking to get back from a rough week last week. We're looking for some green. We got 2 long shot parlays this weekend.
It was so nice, I'm doing it twice. Zhang Weili by decision, Michael Morales by knockout TKO, and Islam Makhachev by submission. As my boy Matty Betts calls it, this is called the MMA Cycle Parlay, and we're going for it.
I've never done 2 long shot parlays on the same card. Why not? We're here in the nice studio in New York City, UFC 322. So there's 2 long shot parlays And then last but not least, Ian Parker's parlay for UFC 322.
And probably the most boring, chalky one on the card. But hey, if you win, we're in. Give me Kyle Dawkins over Gerald Mearshart. Dawkins looked great against Pereira. We know how GM3 is. He's a little slow, takes a lot of damage. Dawkins gets it done. Fatima Klein, Bo Nickel. This is a matchup made for him. Gotta win. Even money. Let's go.
It's 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, and now you got plenty of action to lay down at UFC 322, courtesy of UFC Best Bets and Ian Parker. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back for all the cards the rest of the year, but this one is going to be a very enjoyable one. Enjoy the fights on Saturday, UFC 322, Madison Square Garden, and we'll talk to you next week.